Hello, and welcome to Pagelets, brought to you by The Authorised. The Authorised sets out to shine a spotlight on new authors that are coming into the market via new or debut works. At Pagelets, we're branching out and offering authors the chance to showcase a snippet from their book. This time around, we're linked up with newly published author Elliott Wink regarding her January release, After I.O. After I.O. is a soft sci-fi thriller set entirely in space. Bryn Michaels is a pilot on the spaceship Persica, and she has just killed her captain. Persica was on a simple mining expedition when things go wrong. They take a turn for the worse when something far more mysterious and dangerous threatens their very survival. For Pagelets, we worked with Elliott to find a passage from After I.O., no more than a couple of pages long, that would encapsulate the tension of the book and give you a taster of Bryn's experiences aboard the Persica. Here is that short reading from pages 64 to 66. And then she finally fell asleep. She slept without dreaming, sprawled out in her bed on top of the covers, cuddling with a bottle of scotch. Bryn slept soundly until she was violently thrown from her bed. Her body flew across the room and her back slammed against the wall. The bottle she had been cradling slipped from her fingers and exploded next to her, shooting little pieces of glass into her skin and soaking her clothes with the strong smell of whiskey. Bryn was pinned against the wall for nearly 20 seconds, unable to lift even a finger away from the metal under the sheer force. And when the force finally dissipated, she fell to the ground. Bryn's body thudded against the hard floor, surrounded by a chorus of clinking glass and creaking metal. For a moment, Bryn sat stunned, breathing heavily and trying to take in her surroundings. Everything that wasn't bolted in or strapped down was in disarray around the room, which included her. Once Bryn started to take account of her own state of being, she winced. Her back was severely bruised, but she was able to sit up and move, so she didn't think she'd broken it. And her left side, from her elbow to her temple, was covered with little cuts, where shards of glass from the bottle had embedded themselves in her skin. Some of them she was able to pull out, but others were too small or too deep for her to do anything about. It wasn't until Bryn tried to stand up that she realised she was still intoxicated. She tried to get up 3 times, but between her new injuries and her state of inebriation, she slipped back to the ground each time. Bryn had no choice but to stay on the floor and turn on her comm. "Hello? Is anyone there?" Some jumbled static answered her before returning to silence. Bryn realised that she'd been hearing the same sound for the last few minutes, but she hadn't noticed it. Bryn leaned against the wall, unable to get up and feeling the aching of her body grow as the numbing effect of the alcohol slowly wore off. The static in her ear came in waves, other voices trying desperately to reach each other. She wondered if they could hear each other, or if they were also left with the ambiguity of white noise. A throbbing pain slowly developed in the back of Bryn's head, and when she reached around to touch her scalp, her fingertips came back around covered in bright red blood. The longer she sat, the more tired Bryn became. She wanted to keep her eyes open. She knew she should keep her eyes open, but it was all too much. Bryn let the overwhelming need to sleep take her, and the only thing she dreamt of was static. After I.O. by Elliott Wink is book 1 in the Firelight series. It is available from Amazon as both an ebook or in paperback form. The next instalment, titled District 5, is due out on June 7th, 2022. Pagelets is an AleXZavesa media production on behalf of The Authorised.